Alright, we're going to do a take 2 on this, because I just did it the first time, and it didn't record it because I didn't know what full screen would do, and so I decided to try it. Anyways, I just saw a great question on one of the help forums for BandLab, talk about recording latency. And so, the thing with recording latency is on the mobile app, there's this great feature that it auto-detects latency and adjusts your microphone to fix that latency. You know? Sorry. Allergies are killing me. Well, here's the thing. The desktop app doesn't really have this, at least not that I'm aware of. But, you know, those of you that don't know, I play bass. I love playing bass. It's fun. And I don't do it professionally, so I don't have really high dollar equipment. You know, I do it on budget. And because of my setup, it works great, but it took me a while to figure out how to fix latency. And actually, it's a pretty easy fix. So here, we're just going to have a sample loop. Okay? And then this piano is going to come in here later. But right now, it's just a simple drum loop. Right? Just 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so here, I'm going to actually record bass. So you're going to see something here, okay? And so I do have a gent effect that I made on it. If you want the effect, it's pretty easy. Just add distortion, then overdrive, and boom, it gents. Probably not quite. It's a really cheap filter, but I like it. And it makes it a little bit easier to hear the bass because the bass starts to cut through everything. So, alright, let's give this a try. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. You can probably hear it rattling in the background. That's what bass sounds like when it's not plugged into an amp. I do have my metronome going, so I'm going to record this as close as I can. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I gotta stop that. I goofed that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I goofed that again. Sorry. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Important thing here is if you're gonna loop it, let it ring. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, let that ring out, and there's a reason. So as you can see here, it's not lined up. You know, that just sounds horrible. So this is how I fix that. Step 1, make sure you have it selected. Open up your editor. Step 2, this little magnet up here, you want to turn that off or just press G. What you're going to want to do here, you're going to want to zoom really close in on your audio. See where this audio starts? We're going to eyeball trim it. Okay, until just about where that audio starts. Okay, and then we're going to turn this back on. And this is where, like, if you're doing it like me and it's beginning track, slam it to the beginning. Oh, please stay. If not, you're going to want to just line it up whenever it starts. Again, make sure you have your magnet on for this. And then, what you're going to do, just going to go here. You can actually close the editor on this one. You're going to go here, and you're going to trim that bad boy. And you're going to make it line up to where it should end. So I did that for an entire measure, and so this is the length of an entire measure. So if I line this up again, see, that lines up a lot better. And then I can actually loop this. That lines up a lot better than it did. Alright, and so there's some advantage. I know some of you are going to go, well, it's not perfect. You know what? You're right. It's not. But that's a good thing. We basically did what BandLab calls humanizing. I don't know if that's a BandLab specific term. But basically by doing that, it's going to be a slightly imperfect one, which means it's going to mesh up pretty close. But it's going to be slightly off by like milliseconds. I don't think that's the thing, but... And by doing that, it shuffles it up. if you have a bunch of sounds that are perfectly in line with each other, sometimes you're not going to be able to hear everything. If you have it like this, where it's just barely, like I am talking like imperceptibly jumbled up, the brain's going to be able to pick apart every single different sound that's coming from there. That's why live bands, sound besides the fact that, they're live instruments. That's why live bands sound a lot different than a recorded band usually. And then we're going to go here. I'm going to unmute this, right? Just a little piano. Alright. That's what we want. Now, what we're going to do here is this actually a feature that BandLab built in. I'm going to zoom this out a little bit. I want you to pay attention to how these line up. Okay, right now this is quantized. I'm going to select all these, and I'm going to humanize it. And then we're going to try that again. No. Sorry, someone knocked on my door. And then we're going to just listen. So, it's a little different. You don't hear as much, but when you have everything lined up, you can kind of pick apart everything that's there. So, that is how I fix recording latency.